Well, we always try to open up with a little bit of a controversial song. Dylan, I don't know if you've heard this yet, but the best band in the world, Nickelback, has redone The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Is this it?
This is it. I think this came out just like the 14th, so it's only been out a few days. Let me see what you think of this. Honestly, I don't feel like this sounds like Nickelback at all. They got like one of these animated videos for it. You hear that? Look at that. I can't hear you, Dylan. Let me see. Can you turn yourself up a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. Now, once it gets towards the end of it here, it actually sounds really good.
Here come all the copyright strikes.
Oh, yeah. I'm already expecting it, honestly. I mean, that's why I'm kind of trying to talk over it a little bit.
Yeah, here's the thing, is this is obviously because of Charlie Daniels passing. This is a...
Well, I think it's just Nickelback trying to be relevant again.
in tribute.
Here we go. I think it sounds pretty decent, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Unlike the video, it's like they have like this devil playing this, you know, two-head guitar. It's pretty freaking cool, dude.
I see. I don't know, man.
No?
I feel like you can't tamper with classics. That's why I hate like these movies that are being remade. The fantastic movie Trains, Planes, and Automobiles is being remade. You know who they're casting?
Who?
Will Smith and Kevin Hart.
Oh wow.
Can you get any more opposite than Steve Martin and John Candy?
Yeah, I think you were telling me. Didn't we talk about that last time?
I don't recall.
I'm trying to wait till it gets to this one part. I want you to hear it. Now, I don't know if you know this, but like down here in Georgia, we have this place called Stone Mountain.
Okay.
And it's this big mountain with these Confederate soldiers carved into it.
Very nice.
People are raising hell and protesting there now.
Beautiful.
And it's a huge battle. Here we go. They kind of change it up a bit.
Just come on back if you ever want to try again.
Here we go.
I done told you once, you son of a bitch, I'm the best that's ever been.
Dude!
Yeah!
I'm not gonna lie, man. Maybe they're sitting in quarantine and they killed it. I think that they made it like different enough that
They made it their own.
That they made it their own, yeah. And you know, it's cool, man. They're trying to be relevant again. So
I think,
hey.
man, Nickelback's the least likely band I thought I would hear do a Charlie Daniels tune.
Yeah. But
Well,
anyway, I was talking about the mountain, and they do like this laser show at night on this on the side of the mountain, and they have a whole like animated laser show to that song, and they play it every night, and like there's like these big cannons of fire that shoot up all around the mountain. It's freaking cool, dude, to see.
Yeah, that'd be neat. Like,
Yeah.
so the original Charlie Daniels, that's my style of music, you know, that classic country. And
Yeah.
I have to say that, like, we lost a lot of artists over quarantine.
Right.
And, like, it seems to me like Charlie Daniels is the one we probably talked about the least overall.
Right.
But, like, he's the only one where, like, people are putting out tributes and, like, people are redoing his songs. It's just weird. Like, I would have figured Kenny Rogers, everyone would be doing The Gambler, you know? You would get Nickelback.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I'm up with The Gambler. Like, I would figure that would be the...
I'm going to be honest. You know way more about music than I do. I am
Yeah.
not a music person.
Yeah, I think... Listen, I think music's important in our society.
It's important for certain people. I mean, certain people need it, I guess, but
It's helped win elections.
Yeah.
Everyone is voting for Jack because Jack has what all the rest lack. That was
I don't
John
know
F.
that.
Kennedy's. It's called Vote for Jack. I swear to God, it was sang by the Rat Pack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to do a whole. When we get political, we'll have to do a whole segment on political like songs.
Yeah.
Because Hank Williams Jr. did one for John McCain and Sarah Palin.
Oh my God, how did I miss that?
I swear to God, it's like Country Boy Can Survive, but it's about John McCain and Sarah Palin. I swear
God,
to
that's
fuck, I'm not
funny.
messing with you.
That's so funny. I love like parody music where they like
Yeah.
try
it's
to
funny.
like yeah, dude, it's great. Speaking of political stuff, I don't want to make this political, but
Yeah.
we have a vice president nominee here for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I'm interested on your thoughts of it because you are a pretty political person, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious what you think about it, and I just maybe we'll just have a little back and forth about that.
Yeah, I think it's important with Kamala Harris to remember that she's one of the few candidates that has held an office. I mean, she does know what she's doing. But there again, that's up to interpretation. Donald Trump supported her in the past. He funded her two campaigns, not presidential campaigns, but for the state of California.
Mm-hmm.
He helped fund her campaigns. He supported Kamala Harris, which is important because I believe in transparency. Do I think she's the right candidate for what Joe Biden and the Democrats are trying to do? Yes. Do I think she's the right candidate for America? No. I think that what the Democrats are trying to do right now is they're trying to keep their finger on the pulse of young votes because the assumption is that young people are going to be voting more than older people in this election. I don't think that's true at all.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, I don't see it really changing up much from what it usually is. One thing about Kamala Harris, I can't get over the fact that, I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff, and, I listen to this one that's called Wrongful Convictions, and it's a podcast put on by the guys who like run the Innocence Project, who are like people who get people that have basically like life sentences and stuff for crimes they didn't commit, and whether it was poor representation that got them the guilty verdict or whatnot, and they've like exonerated like over 300 people from death row and stuff. I mean, it's amazing. If you guys should definitely check out that podcast if you're into those type of true crime, reality type stuff. But one of the big things, they were actually on the Joe Rogan podcast a few weeks ago. It was a great episode. You guys should definitely go listen to that, and they go into detail about some of the cases that they've dove into. But one particular one that I was listening to was about a case where Kamala Harris just blatantly denied DNA testing to one of these guys, and which ended up sending him to a life sentence. And I think he spent like 30 years in prison for it, and they finally got it overturned. But and they go into more detail about why she did that to get her political gain and things like that. Anybody that's going to, deny DNA testing that could prove somebody innocent, I have no use for that woman.
Yeah, there's no
that.
forgiveness. Yeah.
Honestly, I think it should be mandatory. If there is any DNA, it should be mandatory that it has to be tested. There should not even be a question whether they can test it or not.
I think that's a flaw in the judicial system.
It's a huge flaw, and it's like just listening to that show, man, just makes me so disgusted and like so, I don't know, disappointed in the justice system that we have here in America.
I mean, it opens your eyes to, how much power these people really have. And not even just, it used to be just politicians, but I mean, we saw last year or 2 years ago, the Kardashians were able to get someone pardoned.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
I do not. Yes. I do not keep up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, neither do I. But I remember because my political.
So what? They just because of their clout, they just
Basically, yes. I mean,
they just made a big enough stir.
I think they did. See, I don't know the intricacies behind it. I know that they were involved in the pardoning of this lady. I don't know much more than that.
Right.
But like, come the fuck on.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Well, we have another pardon that happened, today, I think. I think it happened this morning.
Yes, sir. How'd you like that segue, Landon?
It was, obviously, yeah, it was perfect. Good setup. So tell us about it. You probably know a little bit more. I only looked at it for a second, but it was definitely one of the things on my list to talk about.
So it's the 100 the 100-year anniversary of
The 19th Amendment, right?
yes, which is
Gives the women the right
suffrage.
to vote.
Yeah, and basically, yeah. So what happened is Susan B. Anthony, who is like the figurehead for women's suffrage, giving women the right to vote, was imprisoned by an all-male jury because she illegally voted in the 1872 election. President Donald Trump has pardoned Susan B. Anthony posthumously.
It's a big word.
Yes, that means after death.
Okay, there you go, people. I don't need to pull up the dictionary.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Landon, how do you feel about that? Like, that's a political move, isn't it?
Well, I think it's kind of interesting that, it's been 100 years and no president has looked back to pardon this person. I think that she should be pardoned. I mean,
of course.
I think it's a great thing for our country some people I can see people saying, "Oh, she's dead, whatever, it's no big deal," but I think it's a great thing that they did that, because it's very important that women have the right to vote. It could be a political thing, but then again, it's something that should have been done a long time ago. Yeah. So another president should have done it, and they didn't. Agreed. So I'm not going to hold that as like, oh, he just did this as a political move. No, he did that because that's the right thing that should have been done in the first place.
The 100-year anniversary, I think, that's why to me it seems more of a political thing.
Yeah. I mean,
but I agree with you. I think it's the right thing to do. I agree with you that, yes, definitely, she should have been pardoned. She should have been pardoned when it happened. Like when the 19th Amendment went into effect, she should have been pardoned. Much like if we ever legalize weed, all of those folks should be pardoned.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But like, to me, I don't know. I feel like yes, it's the right decision 100%, and good on him for making that decision and doing that. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of murky. And maybe there was some rule set into place, like you can't do certain things until 100 years or whatever. Maybe there's rules that I don't know about.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, great, great on us, because this is a woman who quite literally helped to mold our current society.
Right. It was an awesome thing that she did, and even though it's been 100 years, she deserves it. So. Congrats to Donald for that. Congrats to the country that that happened. So I'm happy for it. I do want to say here, you guys, we are live right now. You can call us at 706-237-8230. If you have comments, questions, you can text or call that number. We will read them on the air. We do have a few questions and comments and stuff that came through throughout the day. I did post up earlier if you wanted us to speak about something, to shoot it over to us. And we got a few, so we'll be going over those in a second. But also, I do want to talk about some of our sponsors up in the description above or below, depending on what program you're watching. We are sponsored by Webull. Use that link right there. You can get 2 free stocks with Webull, valued up to $1,400. Webull is a stock trading platform, so if you're wanting to get your feet wet with stocks, give it a try. Use that link right there, and we'll get a little bit of a kickback if you do. So just for signing up, you're going to get something free. So go ahead and do that. And we're also sponsored by Fiverr up there. So if you use Fiverr already, if you'll just go through this link and then log in any of your purchases, we kind of get a little bit of a kickback. And it's not really even a kickback. We just get credit that we can use on their program, which is going to be cool, because we're going to be doing some videos. Well, we're going to be doing some videos coming up of exploring what is on Fiverr. It's a great place. You can get many, many different services for as little as $5. So really cool thing up there. So don't forget, call in 706-237-8230 right there on your screen. I think that this is an important time right now, Dylan, before I get into some wrestling talk, that we have an update from our number one listener that we have. Actually, our only listener that we have.
The only one?
The only one, who seems to never disappoint and always calls in. He usually calls in like while the countdown is going,
and we don't know how he like knows that we're going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
he's on it.
Yeah, because this is not like a scheduled thing. I mean,
last week the countdown hadn't been going on. We were sitting down to do the show, and you go, "I'm getting a call from Bob Kessler," and I go, "Oh shit, here we go."
Here we go. So anyway, he actually called in about 30 minutes before we started the show. I did listen to this already, but I know you haven't. So let's go ahead and let me turn this up, and we'll hear from Bob Kessler. You know, for those of you who don't know, this guy's been calling us since episode 1. We're now on episode 6. He's been on every single episode, explaining his journey through finding this woman that he's madly in love with, who he ended up finding out has a penis, and kind of wanted our advice throughout that. So we've been guiding, we've been holding this hand. We've been holding this little sloppy wet hand through this whole process. And here's our update from Bob Kessler himself. Hopefully. Come on. Skype wants to screw me. All right, well. It's loading.
You had it working before we went on the
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why Skype does this. It'll just like randomly put it in this like loading pattern. Whatever. Let's continue. We'll come back to it. I'm just going to let it load up and then we'll come back. One thing that we missed last episode, Dylan, and I got a few messages about it because they were disappointed. We're supposed to be wrestling fans, and we missed the passing of Mr. Kamala.
Who said we're wrestling fans, by the way?
Do what now?
Who said we're wrestling fans? When did this become a thing?
Oh, well, our female listeners comment that they have no clue what the hell we're talking about when we speak about wrestling. But this guy in particular, I know you know who this is, right? Mm-hmm. Kamala. Yeah. So he was one of the guys who actually terrified me. Let me see if I can pop up a picture here in the screen so people can see what we're talking about. He terrified me as a kid. He used to come out with this massive like mask right here, and he never spoke any English. He just, it was almost like he couldn't speak. One thing that was really cool about this dude, I mean, look at how terrifying this guy is. Come on. That is scary as hell when you're a young kid. I mean, so one of the cool things about this dude is he stayed in character the entire time that he was a wrestler. Like, even when he would check into hotels and stuff, somebody else would check him in. If fans ended up finding him, they would, he would just be like, not really understanding what they're saying because he's not supposed to speak English, and just be like, blah, 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 blah. So what a cool dude, man. It's so disappointing to hear the passing of him.
Yeah. That was a common thing back in the day, because back in the day, I guess we'll do a little wrestling segment.
And you were right. He did lose legs right here. I don't know if you can see that. He ended up having, it was a double amputee at the end.
Yeah. So, I mean, the last few years of his life were pretty difficult. Yeah, I'll say this. So myself, I know a lot more about wrestling, the business side of it, than the in-ring work side of it.
Yeah.
I can tell you that back in the day, there were different territories across the country before one guy basically bought all of them. Mm-hmm. And that you had to stay in character. They called it kayfabe. Kayfabe is a made-up word that basically just means to stay in character, to live your character. And if you were caught not living your character, you were fired from your promotion.
Really?
There were 3 rules that you had to follow. So number 1, and this was specifically in the Southern territories, if you got into a fight with a fan or on the street, if you lost, you're fired.
Whoa.
If you are a heel, and you have to scar the person you fought.
So they scar them?
Yes. So they can't go to their friends and say, "Oh, I took him." You have to scar them.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Number 2. There's 2 rules in wrestling. There's heels and baby faces.
Right.
A heel's the bad guy, a baby face is the good guy. They couldn't ride in the same cars, hang out together. They couldn't even stay in the same locker rooms. If you were caught...
Whoa.
Did I just get bright like Jesus for a second?
If Jesus gets bright, then yeah, you did.
What the fuck just happened? Well, I'm so sorry. If you if you were together at any capacity, you were fired. And the other thing was, like, if you were a character who was supposed to be like a Russian or a Ugandan in Kamala's case, he was the Ugandan giant.
Right.
You had to like know enough of the language to get you through. But the interesting thing about professional wrestling is it's on the fly. So like you might go to a taping today or a show today, and your boss, the promoter or the booker, if you will, says, "Hey, how you feel about being a Russian?" And I mean, you really don't get a say. So you're over there, "I am Russian," like whatever the fuck. There was a guy named Nikita Kozlov who stayed in character for so long that even the people who like were wrestling with him didn't know he wasn't Russian. They believed the gimmick.
Oh my god!
Because you normally break character on the boys because they know the business, they know what kayfabe is,
right?
But you still can't share those locker rooms. But the guys that you're close with know. People didn't know because he went to he was from like Illinois and went to like Texas as his first promotion, so nobody down there knew who he was. They really thought he was a Russian fresh off the fucking boat.
Wow, that was the good old days of wrestling, man.
Yeah, man. We'll do a show sometime where I get into, well, where we get into like the territories and how Vince McMahon bought everybody out and the glory days of Hulkamania, dude.
All right, I got this call from Bob pulled up for some. I had to restart my phone. I don't know what the hell happened. So here we go.
Hi there. This is Bob Kessler, and I was trying to get in touch with the Landon and Dillan show.
Dillhole.
Well, I just want to give you guys an update.
Here we go.
Well, things are going good, but then she said my penis was a little bit too small to satisfy her, and, well, she left me and said I can't have her candy cane anymore, and, she wanted something that was a little bit more endowed. So, yeah. I just want to let you know that I kind of hit the bottle a little bit. Not too bad, but I hit the bottle, and now I'm drinking again. And I just if you guys have any advice for me, I'd really, really, really would appreciate that. Please, just help me. Tell me what to do. Should I get her back? Or do I just need to move on? What should I do? Please, any advice. Any advice would be good. All right. I'm going to drink this beer and leave now.
There he goes, cracking a beer. Oh my god, dude.
As a fellow man with a small penis, I have one recommendation. It is the answer. Let me tell you something, all right? So you have two options. You either have to be funny, and as we can see, Bob, you're not that funny. You're a nice guy, you're a delight, but you're not a funny guy. So you have to do option number 2. You need to get a horse penis transplant. Landon, have you heard of a horse penis transplant?
I got tears.
Did you know they do that now? They'll take a horse's penis and put it right on you. Landon can't even do the fucking show right now. Y'all get pissed off I talk too much, but fucking look at it. What am I supposed to do? We're gonna have dead air.
Oh my god.
How do you like my solutions, Landon? Pretty good?
I don't believe you for a second.
I swear to God. Look it up. I swear to God, I'm
oh
not even
god.
fucking with you. They've done them in South Africa. They've done them in Asia. They've done them in Boston and Florida.
Dude, I feel so bad for this guy.
He needs a horse penis. That's what he needs. She can't. Listen. What she can do can play that his dick's too big. We'll tell him to chop an inch off. He'll be fine. We'll start at 17 and we'll gradually take our way down until Candy Cane is fleeced.
So I think he just needs to. I think we just need to move on at this point. Now we're ended up drinking. Let's see right here. A hospital in Boston has become the first in the U.S. to perform a successful penis transplant. Doctors said calling the operation a surgical milestone. Thomas Manning, 64, receives the donated organ 3 years after his penis was amputated due to penile cancer. He's the third man in the world to have had this experimental surgery done. The patient is expected to regain normal urination and sexual function in the next few months. It took 15 hours and 50 doctors. Oh my God. But there's nothing about a horse here. Let me go, but let me see. Canadian man gets first ever horse penis transplant. Oh, here we go. Why are we even doing this right now? I don't even understand. It says no, the story is fake. Okay, it says no, the story's fake.
Oh, no. Okay, then you get a regular penis transplant. Listen, if he calls back next week and tells us he has a horse dong and it's all working well and Candy Cane, she loves to suck on my Candy Cane now, I'm going to fucking shit my pants.
Poor guy.
I love it.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe I think we just need to talk to Mr. Bob in person.
I think, we have to have him on the air.
Yeah, we just got to have him on the air. So that's going to be the next thing I'm going to work on then. We'll try and get him on live and let's have a conversation. But obviously, I mean, he enjoys our thoughts on his situation, but he doesn't listen to us. And you know, I don't know. I think he needs to move on. I think he just needs to come out as a full gay.
I think we need to pitch some money in, maybe get him a prostitute.
Candy Cane is a prostitute.
That's true. That's true.
So, Dylan, one of the things I have here to talk about is, 2020 has thrown us a lot of curveballs. I mean, let's think about it. We got COVID, obviously, has screwed up everything for everyone. It helped us determine that we should do this terrible podcast. We had murder hornets for a little while.
We had Kobe pass away.
But there's something new. Something new that I've not heard, in other programs. And, I don't really watch news and I don't watch TV.
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it the Fire NATOs?
It is not Fire NATOs, but
damn it,
sounds really cool. And possibly a new movie coming out soon. Fire NATO. The next big thing coming out right now, and the issues that we're having are zombie cicadas. Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
Okay. So, bear with me here. Now, this is a CNN article. It says zombie cicadas under the influence of a mind-controlling fungus have returned to West Virginia. As if the world today isn't strange enough, researchers have discovered a new population of cicadas that are being brutally infected by a parasitic fungus that controls their mind and forces them to infect other insects. These insects, dubbed zombie cicadas, are under the influence of a psychedelic fungus which contains chemicals as those found in hallucinogenic mushrooms. Now, this is a study published by PLOS Pathogens. After infecting the host, the fungus results in a disturbing display of a B horror movie proportions. West Virginia University is studying this as well. Let's see. First, the psychedelic fungus spores eat away at the cicada's genitals, their butt and abdomen. They are then replaced with fungal spores, which are used to transmit the fungus to other cicadas. From there, this new fungal abdomen will slowly wear away like an eraser on a pencil. And this is terrifying, dude. So now we have cicadas tripping out on mushrooms and killing all these other insects.
I think I need to start a new bit.
Oh, yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alex Jones here, and the funguses are turning the cicadas into zombies. Okay, the cicadas.
That's too Hulk Hogan.
Around.
Try again. It's too Hulk Hogan.
Too much Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan.
yeah. Try.
Okay. Good try.
No,
okay.
it was a poor attempt. Let's try that.
Where
again.
do I gotta go with it?
I don't even know how to explain it, but that was too Hulk Hogan.
That was too Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I haven't heard his voice in so long. You should have just let it go. You fuck.
I ruined it. Go for it.
Because all I'm thinking about, it's turning the frogs gay. The goddamn chemicals in the water, it's turning the frogs gay. The cicadas, they're eating each other's asses and genitals. Now, when you walk outside, how would you feel if something just starts eating at your genitals?
That's pretty good. That's a terrible thing that it just immediately goes straight for the penis.
That is fucking horrifying. Yeah. That's like, actually it'd be a great thing. Imagine if like the second you walk outside, women are just sucking your dick. That'd be great. Maybe the cicadas have it made. We don't know where to go from here. This has been a disaster.
Maybe that's exactly what it is. So
the succubus. The goddamn succubus.
That was more better right there.
The fungibus.
This has just been a disaster night of trying to even get this stupid thing to go. I can't get my damn light to work in the background. As soon as I do, I turn blue, and then I get 40,000 comments that I look like a Smurf when I'm doing this. So.
Hey, do we have 2 viewers? How many people are watching right now?
Yeah, my end only says 2. This is a terrible time to go live. Honestly, like if we do not do afternoon shows, it's a waste. Everybody like watches this later. One thing we've learned is that if we do it during the day, people are at work and they'll just turn it on because nothing else is on and listen to it. So, we're going to try and get back to doing that. I do have one more thing here, and let me see if I can pull this up for you so that everybody can see this. I'm going to have to go solo here, maybe. This is a man right here. You'll see this video. I'll play it in a second. I'm going to have to hide us, and I don't know if you should be able to hear us. Let me put this on solo. Here we go. This man gets knocked out from a cat that falls off the balcony of one of these buildings and knocks his ass out completely. Let's see if we can play this. There's no audio here. But watch this guy that this dude's pointing at. Tell me this is... Boom! Oh my God, did you see that?
No, can you go back?
Here, watch it. Boom!
Where the fuck did it come from?
So there's like balconies above this building where people like live or something. And it just happened to land perfectly on this dude's head. This cat knocked his ass out cold.
Holy shit.
So this cat's like going crazy, and then randomly this dog with boots on, which I'm not really sure how that happened. He's like, "Oh, you knocked my guy out? Watch this. I'm gonna take your ass on, boy. You ain't got nothing. Come on.
McGregor and fucking Mayweather have nothing on those guys.
Look, he's out, dude. He ain't moved.
Oh my God, that's a real slobber knocker, King. King, oh my God. He broke him in half.
That's
he
impressive.
Killed him, by God.
A freaking cat, dude.
How'd you like the Jim Ross?
That's pretty good.
Rossies.
You need a little bit more of a lisp.
That's Bell's palsy. That's not a lisp. Oh. I can't do that. That's good. We'll get canceled.
We should already be canceled.
We really
Nobody listens to this, so it's okay.
The audio. This is going to be. What day is today? This is going to be
Tuesday.
Black Tuesday is what we're going to call this, because this has been the worst show in history. This has been. We really thought that this was going to be like decent. We're going to talk about this.
Who thought that? Every show we do is terrible. Come on.
I don't know, man. We've had 2 gems. There have been 2 diamonds in the rough.
I think the last show was definitely the best one.
Yeah, last show. Well, that's the thing is like the last show was like so real, but people were also so entertained by it. And then like
we got calls, we got people coming in. Now I'm seeing some people jump in the chat here. Jerry jumped in asking what shit we're stirring today.
We got the first we did the first show, and the first show wasn't bad. For as shitty as we were, the first show we had a lot of content, boom, 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 and people were into it. Right. But the last show was, I think, the favorite so far. Yeah, by far. And it got the most views. I didn't go back and look and see like where
where we were standing there. But Jerry, we're just BSing here. We don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah, we had topics and they've just.
I've already went through my list of topics, and now we're just rolling. Well, I was kind of hoping that somebody would call in and have. Oh, I do have some texts. I forgot that. Some texts.
Oh,
some text messages that came into the number. So people, if you don't know, you can text the number that's on the screen there, and we will get that. Maybe you're too much of a pansy to call in and talk to us, and that's fine. Before I move on, we did get a lot of comments about some of the religious discussion that we did last week.
Anything good?
Well, just some people who were interested and wanted me to kind of go through the Exodus 21 thing where we were talking about the slavery.
Yeah.
And they want me to kind of read it off and explain it a little more.
Yeah, and so we do plan, as we said, we plan on doing a religious episode in the future. And now and we haven't talked about this. We haven't given this any thought. Mm-mm. I know that Landon wants to do research for it. The way that I think it makes sense to do it is I'll kind of moderate it. Because I don't want anyone on either side losing their cool.
Well, no, because I don't think that we're going to have anybody that's going to counteract it. Honestly, because there's, when you look at the religious side, they have no leg to stand on anyway. So they're not going to call in and they're not going to have that discussion. So what I think the best route to do is, one of the other comments that we got were that people wanted more examples of how religion harms people, right?
If they're commenting, then they can call in and we can have the discussion.
Yeah, but they're not. But I mean, these were comments after the show. Chances are they weren't watching live. I mean, and trust me, I've tried to do this freaking religion crap before. Nobody will call in. I can't even get a preacher to have a conversation with me. So
were these people who we messaged, were these anonymous people, or were these people who we can go and message and say, hey, if you would like to come on, this is the date, this is the discussion we'd like to have with you?
Well, they're anonymous to me because when they come through Skype, I don't know. I just have their number. So I have the messages, but it wasn't that they were even arguing the point. They just wanted more elaboration on the topic. So it wasn't even that they were saying that, they're religious by any means. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just want more detail on it. But what I think the best thing to do, especially for the people that want to hear more about religious trauma and things that are happening, and the harm that religion can do, is there is a program, and I believe it's let me see if I can get the website right. I'm not going to look it up, but I think it's called freedomfromreligion.org. And this is a thing, like if you're trying, if you don't believe and you're going through this deconversion process and you just have questions and you need some more answers and just somebody to talk through with, you can go to their website and you can call them, you can chat with them, and there's people standing by 24/7 that can answer those calls. And so I think what I'm going to try and do is reach out to the people who run that program and see if we can't have one of them come on, and then we can really hear what they're hearing, because they're the ones that are getting the calls of what's, how religion is harming people. So I think, to be fair, let's call the professionals and get real life stories of things that are happening.
And here's the thing, and I think this is important to say. We're not necessarily saying that religion is evil. Listen, if religion is your thing, that's your way of coping, that's your fucking system. We're not trying to take that away from you. We just see it a little differently than you do.
Right. It's just explaining. I'm not speaking for you, but explaining my point of view on it a little bit better. And I think that bringing in somebody who's more, deals with that every day. There's people that are on staff there that deal with that all day long. So I think it'd be cool. I'm going to reach out to them this week and maybe we can have that conversation for sure. But as far as the slavery thing in the Bible, we can pretty much do that anytime. I can pull that up and we can just read through it. Because there's only I don't know, 15 verses or so where it explains, how you can beat your slaves and things. So
yeah. I mean, I know we didn't want to get into the religious stuff this week because, we didn't want to rehash it. I just think, I hope that no one's misunderstanding or misinterpreting the point here. We're just trying to, show our feelings and talk freely. And we'd love to hear your guys' feedback as well. It's not like we're attacking anybody, or we certainly don't, like if you're a religious person and you watch the programming, we don't hate you. We don't, we're not trying to convert you. That we look at religion a little bit differently than you guys, and we're happy to hear you out. And obviously, if you're watching us, we assume you're happy to hear us out too.
Right, and like we said, the lines are open right now. You can call in. You got a comment, we can talk about it. I have no problem. 706-237-8230 right there on your screen. I do have a text here. Let me just go through it. It says, Landon, I know that you dealt with a lot of that. You worked with restaurants for a long time. Can you dive in and explain your thoughts and feelings on the restaurant industry after COVID? Great question. Great question. So for those of you who don't know, I managed many restaurants across the country from a corporate level. I no longer do that. That was, COVID kind of screwed me. The company I worked for ended up getting sold to a bigger company, and they basically dissolved all of our positions into that new company and just kind of let us all go. We kind of knew it was happening, so thank God, thank the unrealistic God that that I was prepared for that, and I had another gig. So here's the thing: when it comes to restaurants, and I'm curious because I see different things happening throughout different states, and this has always been the case. Different areas are going to be different. Typically, your small town, mom and pop places are not. Depending on how small the town is, it might not be as affected as much, other than the fact that they can't have dine-in customers. But if it's a small town, not many restaurants around, typically your people are going to come to you anyway, even if they have to take it home. But here's one of the things with the restaurant industry. There is a ton, and I mean a piss ton of restaurants that before COVID were on the verge of closing, that needed to close, quite frankly, to put it quite bluntly. Terrible operators running disgusting restaurants. And I'm not speaking for the company that I used to work for. I'm not saying that in this context, so please don't get that out. Whatever. I'm talking in general, okay? There's a lot of restaurants that needed to close before COVID, and so now COVID has kind of just forced their hand in that regard. So in some ways, I see that as a good thing. We need to get the crappy ones out, and let's get some new ones in. So I see that as a good thing. But for the ones who really do their best and they've put their entire life into this, and if you ever owned a restaurant, or if you ever work in a restaurant full time and that's your career, it's a lot of work, man. It's probably one of the more difficult career choices that you can choose, because there's so many different facets and assets that you have to manage in order to be profitable, and the profit margins are tiny, man. People think that these restaurants are making a lot of money off each meal that you're doing, and you're really not. The profit margins are small. You have to have a lot of people to come in to be able to turn a profit. And some of these restaurants, depending on the size of the restaurant and location, they could be paying $10,000 or more in rent a month, just in rent.
Can I tell a story real quick?
Yeah. And then we'll get. I want to go further, but yeah.
Please. So I went to over the weekend, Saturday. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and because of COVID, in Pennsylvania, you can dine in, but you have to wear a mask walking to your table. But once you get to your table, you can take your mask off.
Yeah,
that's all. It made no sense to me.
Yeah, but it's important to know that is not something that the restaurant is doing. It's not their choice.
Yeah, that's the state.
Yeah, that's a state guideline and things. It's very stupid. It's so stupid, man. As if restaurants didn't already have a lot of rules that they have to abide by, which I understand. A lot of them, most of them, 98% of them are needed. There are some that are just absolutely ridiculous and should be gone, and that's one. But I mean I get it. The state kind of has to figure out how to slow the spread of this or whatever. I think we just need to open the country and let's roll. You know what I mean? Because we're doing a lot of damage. We're ruining people's lives and everything that they've worked for their entire lives. Imagine, Dylan, I was listening to somebody who I know who was actually had 4 restaurants in the construction phase right when this shit happened. And like, these restaurants are $1 million plus each. And 4 of them being built from the ground up. And they had to stop all construction. They basically said to their contractors, get it to a point to where it's not going to rot away and walk away. Stop. I can't pay you anymore. I can't do this. I have 6 other restaurants that I'm just barely scraping by and trying to make their payments and stuff. I cannot take on anything new right now. And even if they did finish the construction, they can't open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the really unfortunate thing with like COVID is like we're seeing that folks who are going into colleges are getting fucked, business owners are getting fucked, and poor people are getting fucked.
Right.
I mean, it really is like the working class and the people that are trying to better themselves are the people who are getting fucked hard. I don't know if you heard that a lot of the colleges across the country, obviously taking those tuition checks, cashing those checks, baby, and then they're saying, "Oh, we're not gonna do school, but hey, you guys aren't gonna get refunded either. COVID, sorry, but we're gonna take your money."
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's kind of...
it's a fucking crime. Yeah. I mean, really, there needs to be an investigation because it's a fucking crime.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's crazy that they're... Yeah. I know that there are some, and that's not every college, because I know that there are some who are pivoting to online.
Yeah, it's not all colleges. I apologize if I came across it.
So, that's good. Here's one of the good things with the restaurants, coming back to the restaurants. And I'm really going to try and just stick to the restaurant industry and not other businesses because everything's so nuanced that, let's just stick with the restaurants. One of the cool things with it is that it has kind of forced the hand of some of these owners and some of these different businesses to think outside the box and come up with new ways that they can advertise and promote their product and get their product out there to the consumer. So there's a lot of businesses that were thinking about doing delivery, for example. Now they have the opportunity, whether they wanted to, or not. There's one thing that I learned is that there's a lot of restaurants out there that have these good ideas, at least when I was working with them, that had these great ideas for these things that they wanted to do, but they just consistently said, I'm either scared that I'm going to lose, and I'm going to lose any type potential, foot through the door traffic, which is, typically when you have people come into the restaurant, they're more likely to spend more money than if you were delivering food or if you were, doing takeout. It's just how it goes. If you get them in the door and they can really see the food in front of them and see and you can get the upsells as they go throughout the process, you're going to turn more money from them. You're going to get those upsells. You'll typically at least get one out of like every 3 upsells that you try to give people. So it's kind of made it to where these people now have to try these different things. There's also a lot of situations where restaurants will be like, oh, I need to do this, but I just don't have time. I can't shut my restaurant down for a day in order to paint the restaurant or to clean, this area or whatnot. There was I heard that so many times. Look, I can't do that. I can't clean that area up there because people are in the restaurant and blah, blah, blah. But they're too lazy to come in after hours and get it done or pay a professional crew to do it. Well, guess what? If you didn't take the advantage of your restaurant being shut down to indoor seating to do these things, then shame on you. Shame on you. There's a lot of restaurants that I've seen that are doing these like family meals and stuff, which I think is really, really cool. That they can just get these, family bundle packs. And it's something that, from behind the curtain, they can, prepare a pan or a tray of food or whatever, and get it out to one customer. So the speed of service is quick there. I've seen a lot of restaurants limit their menu. They've taken their menu items down a lot, which is different but yet good.
Are you familiar with what Sheetz is, Landon?
Sheetz is like a gas station, right?
Yes, but they serve food.
Yeah,
Up
yeah.
here in Pennsylvania, it's really big,
Mm-hmm.
especially my side of PA, the Pittsburgh side.
Yeah.
They're offering this thing, and they have since COVID started. Where when COVID started, school was still in session, and a lot of kids only get fed because of school lunch, rather their family can't afford it or whatever.
Right.
Sheetz is doing this thing where if you go in and you say your child needs this bagged lunch, that Sheetz will provide that, which I just think is really neat.
That's
That
wonderful.
even though they're probably losing a lot of money on that, they see they're humane enough to help people who need it.
Right. We have a gas station down here that's kind of similar to Sheetz called QT. It's one of my favorite gas stations. They have the little food area and all that stuff. That company has been built 100% debt free. They do not build another restaurant until they have cash to pay for it and stuff like that. And that was one of the things that I was hoping that they would do for people is, because they don't have all this debt and stuff and all these payments, maybe they could offer a grilled cheese sandwich and a bag of chips to these kids who can't get food or whatever. I was really hoping I would see that. But I have seen a few restaurants post things up like that. It's really cool. So it's cool to see that Sheetz is doing that. I didn't know that. So
yeah, I think what's unfortunate about this is like we talk about like these companies who have the ability to do these things and help out, and it seems like they're the ones who aren't, and that to me is just so shitty.
mm-hmm.
Like the companies and the people who have the capability to assist right now aren't. And that's a big thing, and I know you probably want to keep going with your restaurant subject, but like that's a big thing with like when COVID got really big there for a little while and all the celebrities came together and sang a John Lennon song.
Yeah.
Like what does that do? Like what does that do for anyone? There's just decisions that are made that I just can't stand, and that was one of them.
Right. I'm trying to think what the name of this one place was. Anyway, I think a lot of these businesses too are understanding that they can work with less people. They've had to let go of people, which is very unfortunate, but you got to understand a business is business. Look, I got let go too. It wasn't particularly because of COVID, and it wasn't because of my work ethic by any means. But it's just the nature of the business. Things happen and you move on. That's especially in the restaurant industry. It's just like that. But what restaurants are understanding now too is that they can work with less people, which at the end is going to be good if we can get the country back open and stuff. It's going to save these people a lot of money, because that's one of the huge areas on the P&L where they're losing a lot of money. It's one of those things that I was consistently having to drill into people. Hey, save money here. If you can cut 30 minutes off this end time for people and 30 minutes here by the end of, your 14 shifts throughout the week, that's a lot of hours, a lot of money. So, there's a lot of good that's coming out of it. There's a lot of bad. And for the people that have invested everything that they've ever worked for in their life to lose it, I mean, it makes me kind of tear up, to be really honest, for some of these people.
Yeah, I mean, our show has gotten way heavier than we ever anticipated, and it's not just me weighing us down. Just a joke there for some levity. I think that like,
hey, this is comments from listeners. No, I didn't bring this up.
Yeah, no, I'm not blaming. No, I think it's good.
Right.
Like these are the kinds of shows that like I was used to doing, where it was just heavy, and this is better because it's everybody has the opinion, everybody gets to talk, and it's just more free flowing than what I've done in the past. But like, I think like we had before we went on the air, I brought up price gouging with the webcam, is because everybody's doing Zoom.
Yeah,
and that's something that really is just aggravating when you see like these products have become necessity products. And people can say some shit about supply and demand. Listen, your product, okay, when you make your product, you put a price tag on it, okay? When you triple that price tag and say, oh, well, the demand is this much, what the fuck? Like, especially at a time like this when people need these things, you know, to give you an idea, the webcam that I was looking at is 1080p webcam, much better than what I have here, which is why I look shitty. Sorry about that, everybody. Bitch about that in the comments.
We're gonna fix it. We're fixing it.
Yeah, well, we would if, the $69 webcam wasn't a $300 webcam. If someone wants to send me the money, by all means, I will fucking take your money because I don't get shit from the sponsors.
Right.
That's Landon's gig.
Landon, to be fair, I haven't got shit from anything either. So. We do have a donation link up above, though. If you want to donate,
send Landon a donation to help out.
Well, it'll pop up right here in front of us on the screen. You will see your donation.
Landon pays for a lot of shit that you guys don't see, and Landon has made this so easy on me. I am in debt to him just as a fucking person. But like, price gouging bothers the hell out of me because I can go on Best Buy, I can go on the Logitech website, and I can see, oh, this webcam sold out $69.99. The only place that they're putting it in stock is Amazon, and they're charging you $150 fucking dollars for a $60 webcam, or $100 webcam's a $350 webcam.
Yeah, triple.
Like, yeah, I mean, this is price gouging, which, by the way, before anyone talks about supply and demand, is fucking illegal. All right.
Yeah, it's like those people that were like charging, $35-50 a bottle for a bottle of hand sanitizer back when we were out of that.
That's price gouging. That's against the fucking law, you idiots.
Right.
But like, that shit just bothers the hell out of me because I'm someone who likes to look at the humanity, look at the good things. And like, when I see that like some asshole goes to the store, buys all the toilet paper that the store has just so other people can't have any and he can turn a profit, I get so fucking aggravated because where is the humanity? Where is the humility? Where is the fucking empathy within you that you say, oh man, people are struggling right now, but fuck it, I'm not going to.
Yeah, here's one of the things that I was hoping that we were going to get out of COVID as a country is the fact that we can't rely on our government to do anything. I mean, we have people that are struggling, been out of work for 6 months. They dropped the boost of unemployment. It screwed a lot of people. They think, oh, well, that's just people not wanting to go to work, so let's get rid of it. It's not the case for everybody. So I think that we really have to understand the government's not going to save you. The government's not going to be there to help you. And that I was really hoping that we as people, and especially these people who are more wealthy, would come together to help their communities more. We see it in these one-off things like Sheets doing that for the kids who need food. That's great. What's really unfortunate is, now they're starting to really try to crack down on banning people going back to school, although, there's a lot of people that want to. What people don't realize is that for some of these kids, they're in really abusive households and things like that. And being able to go to school was kind of like their getaway from that, and now they don't have that opportunity. So you got parents who are stuck at home with their kids who they were already probably terrible treating their kids. Now they're hitting their wife more, and they're doing it in front of their kids because the kid's always there, and they're treating their kids more harshly. There's a lot of bad that can come from not having this normalcy of being open like we normally are.
And like, that's the thing is like, school's a double-edged sword because I talked about before, there are some kids, not even on the abusive end of it, but who just like their only meal a day comes from going to school. Okay. But like there again, there's the other side of it is like, well, if we open up the schools, kids are going to get sick because we're crowding these children into fucking rooms, into tight spaces. They're walking past each other. There are fucking hundreds of kids in a hallway at one time, squeezing past each other. None of them are wearing masks, and it gets worse as you get younger because if you're telling me right now that your kindergarten child is going to wear a mask all day at school because you tell them before they go, now, sweetie, don't take your mask off, you are fucking high. When I was 5 years old, I would have eaten my mask. Quite literally, that's why I'm this fat. I just ate everything. But like, you understand what I'm saying, Lynn? You have a young child.
Yeah.
If you told MJ to wear a fucking mask, is she going to keep the mask on?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Why do we have trust for fucking kids right now? I can barely trust the people who are in charge of the country. We're gonna trust the kids to make the right fucking choices. Are you kidding me? We're getting political, which is why I'm getting pissed.
Well, they're not going to. And there's a lot of places like, that was one of the suggestions for here in Georgia, and even her school that she's at, which she's just in like a daycare kind of thing, but you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. They just don't even do it. You know what I mean?
Like throw up and spit and fucking slobber all over the goddamn place. Kids are disgusting. Listen, man, and I fucking
and not to mention, like, kids are gross. Kids are. I mean, you just mentioned it. Kids are freaking gross, and then they're gonna be touching everybody and touching their mask, which just puts that at their face. Like,
man, like, I don't. And everything
I don't like the
has to go in their mouth. Everything they touch, like, because that's how kids learn that are super young. Oh, there's a Lego. Let me put this brick in my mouth. That's how I learn brick, because I go to bite it and my tooth fucking falls out. That's how I learn things. Yeah. But like, I have two more topics that I want to talk about, and then we can go home, because Landon, I'm sensing you're a little fucking over it.
No, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I honestly cannot believe that we've already been here an hour.
Oh, I just didn't know if you were over it or not. The 9/11 memorial. I don't know if you're aware of that. Takes place every.
They do the like lights or whatever.
Yeah, they do the lights, and basically, so for those of you who don't know what it is, there's a big 9/11 memorial in remembrance of all the folks that we lost. Two giant lights are shown in the spots of the towers, and basically you can see it from miles and miles around. Basically anywhere you are in the city, you can see the lights.
Yeah, the pictures online are freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the lights from space. They had originally canceled the entire thing. No lights. Now, I was saying, I can look, if I lived in New York, and I live in an apartment in New York, I can look out my fucking building, I can see the lights, and I'm going to say, you know what? I remember how we came together in 2001, and I think we need that right now as a size. As a, I'm trying to be fucking serious, and you see what happens?
Society.
As a society, thank you. They canceled it. They said, fuck it. So many people complained, saying we need this as a country, as a group. We fucking need this. That they are going to go on with it. Lynn, what are your thoughts on that? I would assume they're not going to do a gathering.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably what they fear, is whether they do it or not, it's going to it's going to become this thing that people are going to try to gather. They want to get out of their house. I think it's interesting though that you bring up. I mean, you look back to 2001. This country came together in the time of a situation that was just absolutely terrible. I mean, really, people came together. They love this country. Now look at it. I mean, look at them now. They're just stomping on flags. Yeah,
because I've never kind of pieced this together. Was 9/11 why you went into the service? He's thinking about it.
No, not particularly. Because I joined in 2008, so it was quite a while after.
Yeah,
after that case. I joined the military, well, because my stepdad, who's pretty much been my dad, ever since.
If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to.
No.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. He did 25 years in the military. I was a young, dumb person, and I was like, man, this is... I joined when I was 17 years old. I was like, shit, if I get in now before everybody else, hell, I can retire in 20 years and then start a whole new career and still have a life or whatever. So that was kind of... And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at that time. Honestly, I still don't know what I want to do with my life. Everything I've got right now is just pure luck that I've even got to this point where I'm at now. So, that was kind of where it came from. It was nothing political. It was nothing. I mean, sure, being there and trying to help the country or whatever. That's always an underlying thing, but it was never necessarily, that was not necessarily my motivation. And that kind of sounds a little selfish to say, but the fact that you could go to college, you know, and they would help pay for it, and it was honestly a good career that you could get into. I had a lot of setbacks when I was in with just absolutely shitty leadership within the military, you know, area that I was in. So that's kind of what drew me away from it. Honestly, if I look back now that I would have been 10 years into my contract, actually 11 years into my contract, and only had 9 more to go, and I'd been able to retire. So looking back, I should have continued. I should have re-signed. I did my 1 contract and I got out.
Yeah, I think that like the only reason that I ask is because a lot of people, they say that 9/11 was their motivation, but like 2008 was an interesting time because, you know, it was a political time. There was an election, and then you have obviously 2005 you had the big Navy SEAL operation that went bad.
Right.
Lone Survivor, fantastic movie if you guys have never seen it. I'd like to talk about some of these things, but it's too educational and I feel like I would put people to sleep.
Dude, we don't have anybody listening.
That's the thing. It's just you and I fucking talking.
Yeah, they'll watch later. It's fine.
Have you ever watched that movie, Lone Survivor? It's pretty
What
recent.
What is it?
So basically there was an operation. Do you want me to get into the?
Yeah. No, go for it, dude. It's
okay.
I'm just trying to jog my memory because I maybe I have, and I watched so many movies I can't remember.
Lone Survivor was a movie that came out a couple of years ago, starring Mark Wahlberg. It's based on a true story.
Oh, was that the dude that was like in the mountains or whatever? And like, yes, I did see it. It was a great movie, dude.
The story is, dude, you will get like it's a super emotional movie.
Yeah,
like you'll feel like you're in fucking war with these.
Yeah,
people.
Great movie.
So Operation Red Wing is known as the darkest day in the history of the U.S. Navy SEALs. Basically, they sent a group of 4 SEALs up into the mountains of Afghanistan to get a positive ID on a terrorist. This terrorist was the guy who was doing all of the beheadings in this particular area of Afghanistan. Well, while they were getting their intel and whatnot, there was a group of like sheep herders. Something happened where these men had come across the SEALs. These men had then reported it back to the town below, and all of the Taliban's resources came raining down upon these 4 men. I think the estimate is that there were 200 people against 4. Jeez. The SEALs were able to kill 35 people. So 3 of the SEALs met their end, 2 of them dying in super selfless ways. I mean, of course, all of them who passed away that day died selflessly and sacrificed their life for our country. But I mean, the one guy who had passed away, who was killed, he had a GPS phone. He was in charge of the GPS phone, you know, and they couldn't, because they're fighting like on mountains, then peaks and valleys, he couldn't get transmission through. So he climbed to the top of a mountain, knowing fully well he was a target, called in with their coordinates, got shot, dropped the phone. The people on the other end could hear him getting shot. They then flew in helicopters, 2 evac choppers. One of the evac choppers was taken down with an RPG, killed 16 or 18 more people. 20 people died in total. After that, mind you, these SEALs are like jumping off the side of a cliff to get away from the 100 people that are killing them, or 200 people. I mean, like,
and you see it all in the movie.
You see it all in the movie. By the end of it, the guy who survives, Marcus Luttrell is his name. By the end of it, Marcus Luttrell, he had shrapnel in both of his legs, broke both of his legs. He was still walking. By the end of it, he was able to crawl. We'll get to that in a second. But basically, 2 broken legs, 3 broken vertebrae. One of the other guys that had been killed, he was shot in the head while fighting. He had ran, I believe as the story goes, he had ran out of ammo, and he was taking out as many as he could with a pistol, and they the terrorists were able to shoot him, and they killed him. So one guy's left. He jumps off a cliff once again, and he's knocked out. When he wakes up, all that adrenaline's gone. He's in pain. He crawled like 6 miles to a watering hole because he's thirsty, he's hungry, dives into the water, and an allied group, an Afghan community that isn't housing terrorists, take him, feed him, help him. They know where the Americans are stationed. They send a note that he wrote saying, hey, you need to come here. Mind you, the whole time, the Taliban, they know that he's in this town. They know they're holding him. The people in the town are holding off the Taliban from killing the American.
Right, they're helping him.
All right, so just a little side note. So everyone that says, hey, we need to nuke these people and turn it into a fucking, glass plane, y'all are fucking idiots, because there's people over there that have saved our men, you fucking bozos. I digress.
Yeah, they're not all bad.
Yeah, they're not exactly.
That's like anything, dude. Not everybody's
precisely. Not everybody's trying to kill us. They're not all trying to decapitate us. I mean, the only reason that this man survived, the reason he has that title, the lone survivor, is because these people helped him.
Right.
And defended him. The United States military came in, got him out, and he's, I mean, to my understanding, he's doing pretty well for himself. He's had a lot of movies written about him. He's named his child after one of the
his
men
best friend,
who died alongside him, or who died alongside the others. But I mean, it's if you have never seen the movie Lone Survivor, I highly recommend it if you can handle it. Listen, it's not like
it's very emotional.
Ryan. It's fucking like
it's real.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna feel like you're there. Your emotions are going to be tugged at, and it's not like they put drama into it. It's like you're actually in a war, and this is like what happens. And it's a fantastic movie, and all the credit in the world to the cast, and everybody who was a part of that film. But those are the things that I like to learn about and research, or like things that are historically accurate, that have relevance to like, just heroes, and like,
that's why I'm a huge fan of like documentaries and stuff. I like that.
Yeah, me
reality.
Too.
Yeah,
that's. I know you're not much of a gamer these days, but I'm sure you've heard of Call of Duty 2020 coming out.
No, I haven't. I didn't know they announced it yet.
New Call of Duty coming out. Call of Duty. Well, they haven't.
They haven't announced it.
New Call of Duty 2020.
It usually comes out on my birthday, November 8th. I remember we used to stand in line at GameStop to get it when I was younger.
So this one is called Cold War. It's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Okay.
Obviously, the Black Ops games, Landon, you would know, are some of the best Call of Duty games.
Oh, yeah. This is the best.
We're going back to the roots of Black Ops, much like how the most recent Call of Duty is a remake of Modern Warfare.
Right.
They're going to do a remake of the Black Ops franchise.
Good.
Now, lately, every day there has been, wait, I have a whole theory on this. We could do a whole fucking show on my Call of Duty theory.
Oh, really?
We're gonna get into some of it.
Okay.
So my friends know I am accurate. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, I can fucking go. I'm a dumbass when it comes to math, but when you get me talking history and like shit that happened in time periods, I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right.
So they've released teasers, not really teasers, but they're basically doing, what the fuck is that? There is like a hornet or some shit just flying around. Fuck it, we're gonna do it anyway.
Do it live.
Yeah. That's fucking terrifying. I'm so scared. Can you see it flying around?
No.
Oh, I'm fucking scared. The fuck out of here. Dude, this is gonna be fucking a
dance,
disaster.
boy, dance.
Yeah, really. This is gonna be a disaster. So they've released like teasers where they want you to figure out what they're trying to get into. They've released some videos, but really it's like an Easter egg hunt. they're giving you this information, this code. They sent out like old school projectors and slides to like certain YouTubers who do
Oh,
Call of Duty shit.
yeah.
Like they've gone full out. And like that was like day one, and basically it was like if you go to it was all the slides put together because everyone got different slides.
So they're like creating an ARG around this?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's it's a mystery. They're creating like a mystery,
It's kind of like what they did with that movie Super 8. Did you know they did an ARG before that came out? There was when their trailer first came out, at the very end there was like slides that would go really fast and you slow them down. And
exactly. So that's what they're doing. So day one, they realized, okay, we have to go to this certain map on this game and look at this clock, and there's going to be more details for what we do in the future.
Right.
People did it. They were able to figure out the next thing. So we were able to get 3 dates. Basically, we have 1961 to 62, 1963 to 64, and 1972 to 1973.
Okay.
Okay. So, my friend messaged me and said, "What do you think these dates mean?" I said, "Well, I'll tell you right now, 63 is Kennedy was assassinated."
Mm-hmm.
I said, 61 and 62, Cuban Missile Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "But the 70s, that's weird. Let me do some research here." I did a little bit of research and I said, what if it's not like a set time? What if it's CIA operations? He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, 61 and 62, the CIA had done some research with I want to say 61 and 62 was Chile, when they went to Chile and fucked up that government. But maybe that was the 70s. Anyway, the Call of Duty people started releasing more teasers, more videos. And one of the videos that came out yesterday talks about MK Ultra. Are you familiar with MK Ultra?
Yeah, I'm quite familiar. I failed one of my speech class finals because I did it on MK Ultra and the time limit was like 20 minutes, and once I hit 50 minutes my teacher was like, "Yeah, you should probably stop." So yeah, I get it. You get me on that topic and we'll roll.
Yeah. Well, so now I'm thinking that's a CIA operation. So okay, you have MK Ultra.
Yep.
You have the Chilean experiment with the CIA. There was another one too that I had found and prodded into. But I think the next game, man, we're going CIA, and I think we're gonna be doing like a lot of this shit. And I think that like the assassination of Kennedy is gonna be in there. I think it's gonna be a really cool game. So if you're a gamer, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good one.
Was it? I want to say, it may have been 71, but wasn't it 69 when we went to the moon?
Yes.
Okay, so that
68, 69.
I think it was 60. Okay, so that wasn't one of those dates. Because when you said those dates, that was the first thing I was thinking of.
They haven't released, we don't know. And not to mention the fact, like MK Ultra started in the 50s.
Yeah.
But it was more prevalent around 62. But then now we're seeing things are being declassified and figured out. There's like a Charles Manson. Do you know about that? How Charles Manson's connected to MK Ultra?
I know that. What was it? Okay, you can go into detail. I could guess because I just heard something about this where he was like given a whole bunch of LSD, and then he was not taking it himself, but he was giving it to all these people. I don't know.
Well, you're kind of on the right track. Here's the thing. MK Ultra, for those of you who don't know, in simplest terms I can get into, basically the United States government was testing on mind control, seeing if I give a person enough drugs, will they complete my every task?
Right.
According to I wish I had the guy's name. He did a Rogan podcast. He was a great. I'll send you the podcast too. I have to look this up because I really don't want to. I don't want to misrepresent what the dude, who the dude was. But this dude did basically. Tom O'Neill is his name. You can go back and watch it. Super recent. It was on the show in like April.
Oh, okay. And Jerry did say moon was 69. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry. So basically, this dude did like an expose. He worked for a magazine where it was like the so and so anniversary of the Charles Manson thing. Like this is like the 90s, so let's say for all intents and purposes 30, 40 years,
Right.
whatever. Did research, did more research. The magazine loved what he did. They said, hey, why don't you keep going? We'll release a whole big thing. He kept going. They said, listen, put this out in a book. For 20 years, he researched Charles Manson and MK Ultra. The dude blew a fucking whole case wide open.
Oh, yeah?
And I mean, he can prove all this shit. It's not like speculation. He has evidence. And I don't remember to get too deep into it, but basically the connection is that Charles Manson was a part of MK Ultra. He was one of the test subjects, and they basically let what was happening go on because they wanted to see if it would work.
Right. It's like they were like feeding him this stuff so he could kind of do his own. Like
precisely.
Yeah. I heard a whole thing about this.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
You have to watch it. Yeah, you have to watch it. But so like I was explaining to my guys this thing because my friends they hate like learning, but when I try to teach them shit, they like it because the way that I explain shit like this. I think that's one of the few times I'm not boring is when I'm talking about like conspiracies and historical shit.
Oh, that's the stuff I love talking about.
Yeah, and my friends, like, they hate learning, but they love hearing me talk about this shit because of the way that I paint that picture for them.
That's why I like having like talking to these experts who's like devoted their whole fucking life into researching these conspiracies or one specific
and that's why
topic.
I love. Well, my paranormal show, we did a Kennedy episode that absolutely bombed.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
It was the worst episode numerically we've ever done.
What, that people just didn't watch it?
Nobody watched it. Still my favorite episode I've ever done. To this day, my favorite show I've ever done on any podcast, go
ahead and plug your show because we know that you're coming back.
Yes, so thank you. So for those of you who do want to see me maybe in a different light,
a completely different light.
Yeah, really. Yeah, fucking seriously.
Totally opposite of this. Serious.
August 22nd, I will be on the Facebook page Paranormal. I almost fucked up, gave the other plug. Ooh, boy, I won't be on
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there. Holy shit. I will be on Paranormal Analytical. Paranormal Analytical. We are going to be talking about Mount Shasta and some of the mystery and shit. I don't even know what the fuck to say about it, really.
Right.
But just some of the things that are surrounding Mount Shasta. We have a lot of Native American things that we're going to be talking about, a lot of Native American theories. We also have some true to life fucking like stories, like documented like cases of people going missing and like weird shit happening in the Mount Shasta area. Should be a super fascinating episode. We don't know yet if Landon's going to be joining us, but I will be joined by the lovely and talented Rick Warren, who probably will watch this later and appreciate I didn't refer to him as the Vanna White of my programming.
We should just send him an invite and be like, come on right now, Dylan or Rick, and let's have a conversation.
I don't think he would do it right now because he has some shit happening.
Oh yeah. No, I have a guy who was one of my roommates after high school, and he was one of my best friends back then. He actually was just living right beside that area, so he spent the last 2 years there, and he was telling me probably about 6 months ago about some crazy stuff there.
They claim like holes open up in the fucking side of the mountain and shit.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff out in that area. But he was always talking about the people going missing. Like, especially with like weed farms and stuff up there. Like people will come up there and they'll work on these weed farms and they'll get a full summer of work out of them. Yeah. And then because they're really in the middle of nowhere, if they don't, because that's the thing, they'll bring you in. They'll learn about your life and your family and all that. And if they find out you don't have any, they can get rid of you pretty easy.
Yeah. Here's
and then don't have to pay you.
Yeah. I mean, here's
dirty.
The thing with that. Like, that's where, like, I feel like that's the human side of it. Basically, the theory is that there's a lost there's a lost civilization inside of the belly of Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is a fucking volcano.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're aware. Mount Shasta isn't. It's a fucking
Shasta,
volcano.
isn't it? Shasta? Is that how they say it?
I think it's one of those things where everyone's vernacular is different.
Right.
I've only ever heard it from people there, from people who live there. They say Shasta.
Shasta. Okay.
They call it Lake Shasta. It's Mount Shasta. But maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Maybe whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Different side of the fucking country. Basically, there is this idea that there's a civilization inside of the mountain, and that this civilization is an advanced civilization that was lost in a flood, and then it gets kind of biblical, and then like there's a story. I'll share one story on here. There was a kid who went to a national forest, Shasta Forest, whatever the fuck it's called, with his family. The kid just went missing. They had a whole search party looking for this kid. Nobody could find the kid.
Right. That's one of the cases, for those of you who follow Missing 411. That's one of the cases there. If you watch that documentary on Amazon, Missing 411, they go into massive detail about that case.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
Some researcher I am.
Have you ever heard of the Missing 411?
I've heard of it.
It's this guy named David Paulides, and he used to be like an FBI
that dude wrote
agent.
he wrote a book.
He wrote a bunch of books now.
Then that's probably where I got my information from. So yeah. I'm doing the right thing. Everybody.
Yeah, you can watch it's on Amazon for free. You can watch it.
Did not know that. Thank you.
It's a really good documentary, but it's just about all these people that go missing in like national parks and stuff.
But yeah, there's this kid the kid's like 4.
Yeah,
he's young, and he goes missing. And his sister and like mother remember
it was his it was his mother and his father and his grandfather, and they were out camping, and and the boy was staying with the grandfather while the mother and father went fishing or something by a little stream. And when they came back, the kid was gone. The grandpa wasn't really paying attention, and it was a crazy story.
Yeah, and then like they send out a search party, can't find the kid. Later, they come back to like the camp, and the kid's like laying fucking 10 meters from the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's under a bush. And they're like, where the fuck were you? And he's like, oh, grandma came and took me into a cave. But then it was an evil grandma. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? When her face shined in the sun, she had like a mechanical look.
Like metallic.
Yeah. And I guess the kid like told his parents that like she pulled out a sticky pad and made him shit on it. They took a stool sample. I swear to fuck, I'm not fucking with you.
Okay,
this is like
I hadn't heard this one, but
I swear to God, I'm not fucking with you. So the mom and the sister of this kid do this interview. Maybe we're all talking about different kids here. I don't know. Maybe probably. My story's different than his story. I don't fucking know. There's a lot of kids going missing, I guess.
Yeah.
But he said he told his grandma, who, by the way, here's the thing. Here's what's weird about it. His grandma, who wasn't at the campsite, he's with her later and says, Grandma, I don't like black grandma, which isn't physically black. She has black hair. He would call her black grandma.
Right.
And she's like, why? And she's explaining to this lady that this robot looked just like you. And she made me shit on a piece of paper. So she's like, what the fuck? She calls his dad, asks, hey, what the fuck? And his dad's like, yeah, he told us about this. Like, we don't know what to do. And like, that's the fucking, what the fuck? Maybe something is happening over there in Shasta.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It is. It's wild.
I'm trying to pull up. There was this guy. I was down the rabbit hole on this weird podcast the other day, and they were talking about this dude because I mean, that's kind of like talking about like aliens and stuff, right? Is that kind of like their idea of what's happening there?
Yeah, basically.
This dude was like, he was part of like some type of military. He was like a military contractor or whatnot, and he was digging a hole in the side of a mountain. For some reason, I don't remember what they were doing, but anyway, they found it like when the drill was going, all of a sudden it just dropped really quickly, indicating that there was a hole that they were going into. So They pulled the drill out, and anyway, the guy ends up going and rappelling down into it. And he basically said when he rappelled into it, he came across a bunch of like what they call grays or aliens or whatnot, and ends up shooting them and getting into a gunfight with them. And when they raise him up out of the hole, he's got bullet wounds all over him and stuff. And his whole theory was that he was fighting aliens down there in that mountain.
Well, that happened with Hellier, too. That was a supposed thing with Hellier. You remember?
Oh, Hellier.
Here's the thing. Okay, so
Hellier.
We really need... I didn't expect us to get into shit that we've talked about on other shows and whatnot. I didn't expect that to be a thing, but it works. And I mean, we're both entertained by it. And
right.
Our one viewer, Jerry, hope you're loving it.
Oh, we've got quite a few, actually, now.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about Hellier. And here's the interesting thing about like Hellier. Do I believe it? No, not one fucking bit.
I think it's scripted 100%.
But I have a question for you, because I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I know a lot about conspiracies. I do my diligence and my research. Do you think the moon landing was fake? I wanted to do a show 100% on this, they wouldn't let me.
I 100% think that. Let's give me just 1 second, because this is something that I want people to call in on, and I need to go grab my charger real quick for this phone.
Yep.
And then let's get into it. But 30 seconds.
Yep. Yeah. I'll keep shit going here. Just a reminder to everybody that myself and Landon appreciate everyone who is watching. And that we're so happy that so many of you can join us. The call-in number is on your screen. As soon as Landon gets his charger, we will be ready to take calls. That call-in number I really should have written down somewhere, but it is on your screen, and Landon will be taking calls here as soon as he gets that phone plugged in.
Yeah, we're good.
I don't know what topic. Are we talking the moon landing thing or just conspiracies in general?
Yeah,
no. Doing open?
I just needed to plug. This thing charges super fast, but because I've learned over the course of doing different podcasts that this is one that stirs people's feathers, talking about the moon landing. So there's definitely areas of the moon landing that have 100% be proven to be fake, right? Like some of the photographs, for example. There's one photograph where they were doing a training session in the full outfit or whatever, and they literally copied that photo and put it. You can go look it up.
Yeah,
it's a legit thing. It was completely fake. Here's what I think. I think that I'm not saying that a rocket didn't go up. I think a rocket definitely went up, and there was probably definitely people in it. What I think is that I don't think that they actually landed on the moon. I think maybe they got really close, and they just couldn't figure out how to land on it, or, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't believe the story at all that we're given. I'm not as far as a conspiracy theorist to think that, we didn't even attempt to go up there or whatnot. But there was too much motivation to be the first ones there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We haven't went back with men since then.
Yeah,
which is kind of freaking weird. If we have the ability, why would we not continue to go there?
Here's the thing. I've wanted to do shows on this kind of shit. I've wanted to do conspiracy shows. There were two of us over at Paranormal Analytical who were really batting. Well, here's the thing.
And we can get people that actually know this topics,
Here's the thing. I wanted to do it over there just because that was my home. I'll do it on your shit. I will do it. We will do it. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do these shows, but after the Kennedy episode bombed, because our audience, Landon, you know this. Our audience is weird.
Yeah.
On
that
certain
show?
shit, they don't believe certain shit, but
Right.
the shit they don't believe is weird. It's weird. A super weird audience. When the Kennedy assassination episode failed, which by the way was probably my best prepared episode, my favorite still. We just said we can't do conspiracy. No one gives a fuck. Here's my thing with the moon landing. Do I think we've been to the moon? Yes. Do I think we got there when we said we did? Fuck no.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. We wanted to be the first. We wanted to say we were the first. American film has always been the fucking place. This is why I will say, and this has been a something in my mind for so long. I remember being in 4th grade, sitting in Mr. Warabaw's class, and they were doing a launch of some sort to space. It wasn't to the moon; it was a launch. Okay, and the camera feed cut out as soon as they left Earth. As soon as they got out of the atmosphere, the camera feed cut out.
Right.
I remember thinking right then, you mean to tell me the technology we have right now with satellite this and this and that we kept a feed in 1960 something, but we don't have a feed in 20 whatever? Are you kidding me?
Well, here's the thing. This is another reason why I don't really go with the narrative that we went to the moon, is that there's no footage. All the footage that they had and all the telemetry data that they had was on this magnetic tape, and they recorded over it. Yep. One of the most important events in American history, in world history for that matter, being the first people to go, they recorded over it. So there's a lot of people that say that that you couldn't have even gone through the Van Allen radiation belt. I don't believe it for what it was told. I'm not saying that I have the answer of what happened, but I don't believe what we were told.
And that's, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of conspiracies that I don't want to talk about. Like here, I'll tell you this, Landon. Did I ever tell you what the one show I wouldn't do is?
No, but I'm surprised you did a show where the lady fucked God and your audience loved it.
Listen, as I told you, y'all, the audience loved it. Yeah.
That's how weird that audience is over there.
This is what's weird. That show, it's the shows that you would expect no one to watch, or the shows everyone fucking watches. That show everyone watched. We did a show on Blowing Cave, which is basically this dude has a cave where blue aliens live in it, I guess, and
in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, yep. It's a whole. I don't want to I'm gonna lose my mind. Because I'm
going there.
Yeah, so is fucking Eddie.
Yeah, I'm going with your group.
Oh, you're so fucking.
They invited me to go.
Listen, they want me to go too. I said, fuck that. You're not getting my big ass in a cave. I'm gonna get stuck drowned.
Dude, I'm down. I'll go until I die.
The last place that I want to die is anywhere where you people can say, "Oh, Dillan's ghost haunts here." Fuck that. Don't make me one of your paranormal fucking bullshits. Here's the thing. I'm gonna get heated.
Go do it. I'm ready. I got heated last week. It's your turn.
There's two things. There's two things that I've always said will get heated. I'll get heated on. Politics is one. You did not know this was the other. Anunnaki.
You don't. Oh, okay.
When I tell you, me and Eddie had a 3-hour argument on the phone, where the only time we've ever screamed at each other. Myself and Eddie have never had a fight. We've had miscommunications. We've had misunderstandings. We've definitely fought with each other. Mm-hmm. We have never screamed at each other. Like when he was explaining to me Anunnaki, and I was saying, fucking no. Aliens aren't real, neither is God. It's all fucking bullshit. You're combining the two, you fucking lunatic.
So you got mad. You don't like the Anunnaki story.
No, it's fucking retarded. Sorry, we're canceled. I can't say that word. It's our word.
I think it's an interesting story, and
it's an interesting story.
Did you see their trailer that they filmed for their movie that they have about Anunnaki?
I'll punch you right in the fucking face.
Did you watch it?
I'll punch you right in the fucking
face.
Did
you watch it?
Hey,
we're getting a call right now. Let me see.
Oh boy.
Maybe this is Eddie himself.
I fucking hope. Hey there, brother.
I kind of hope too. Let's see right here. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. All right, you got to turn your whatever you're watching on down. Go ahead.
Sorry, man. What's going on? This is Reese.
Hey, what's up, Reese? How are you, man?
Pretty good, bro. You guys got into conspiracies a little bit and military a little bit. I just didn't know if you guys had seen this new security guard robot thing.
Security guard robot? I haven't. Have you, Dylan? No,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, explain it to us a little bit. I'm going to try and look it up.
All right, so apparently it previewed at I'm not really 100% sure what the event was, but something, some type of military convention. And supposedly it's the king of Bahrain, which is a country in the Middle East. And this robot has 360-degree cameras. It has laser guns, taser guns.
Oh my God.
I mean, it speaks every language. It has obviously artificial intelligence. And also there's like secret compartments hold like 3 to 4 belt-fed machine guns and like 5,000 rounds of ammunition. It's weird, dude. It's creepy.
Oh my
Sir, so
God.
this isn't an American product, sir, correct? This is from another country?
Yeah, this is from another country. But that was the weird thing. It actually has a Palestinian flag. They claimed it was the king of Bahrain, which is kind of a neutral country. But
I'm trying to pull up a picture of this.
Sir, thank you so much for calling in with us.
Yeah, this is crazy.
yeah, no problem, man.
Well, let me ask you, Reese, before you jump off here. Where do you see, I mean, we obviously think that, I mean, this is something that's going to happen in the future. We're going to have robots. I mean, this is where we're going. I mean, you listen to Tesla, for example. He says that, you know, within the next 20 years, we're going to be able to communicate without even speaking. Where do you see it going with robotics and police and trying to control the masses?
It's terrifying, man. I mean, I don't know. You know, the more you look at the nature of artificial intelligence and listen to the experts like Elon Musk, and you know, he's basically already saying the cat's out of the bag. It's a scary thing, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. What do you think, Dylan?
I think the only thing that would make this robot funnier is if it just said Space Force across the front.
I want to join Space Force. Honestly, I'd probably go back into the military if I could get in the Space Force.
I used to ask every guest that came on the show at the end of the show what they thought about Space Force. Everybody thought it was a fucking joke. Nobody took it fucking seriously.
That's a real thing, man.
I know it is, man.
We got to fight intergalactic battles here.
That's okay. That goes back.
All right, Reese. Thank you for the call, bud.
I did a good job looping. I did a good job. Thank you so much, Reese. I did a good job looping back into Anunnaki. Because all Eddie could say, oh, shit, fucking shit. It's on my mic. It's on my mic. It's on my mic.
Is it? Turn your mic down and then kill it. There you go. That's a professional right there. All right, I do want to say, I did Google this. I typed in Google King of Bahrain robot, and the top stories on the very top says, no, the King of Bahrain does not have a robot bodyguard. Fact check, there is not a King of Bahrain arriving in Dubai with an automated bodyguard. So it seems like this is not true, but, you know.
That's funny, though. We appreciate the story.
There's a picture. Let me pull. I got to pull this picture up for everybody to see it, because this is probably what he saw. This is absolutely fucking terrifying.
It sounded like something from Fallout.
Well, so it looks like there is a legit robot. It's just not functioning the way that it says.
That is not at all what I assumed it would look at. That looks like fucking Optimus Prime.
Oh my God! Could you imagine having that as a bodyguard?
Oh my God.
It says, unfortunately, as much as we'd love for the video to be true, robot bodyguards are certainly just a concept.
Transformers more than meets the eye.
There's a video. Let's pull this video. Oh my God. Oh. He's got a military jacket on. Holy shit. The sound. How can
these people acting like this is normal?
Well, how can this thing say that this is not true and then have a video of it right there following the dude?
Maybe, you know what it could be? It could be like a cosplay.
Yeah, it looks like there's some type of robotic convention.
Yeah.
An 8-foot tall robot greets visitors. Let's play this for a second. This is absolutely fascinating. Dude, that thing is frightening.
It's obviously the same video we saw.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like...
Oh my God, it's talking, bro.
Nope.
Oh, we got to listen to what it says.
Oh yeah, it's dancing. It's busting a move.
What a futuristic police stand. Is it IDEX 2019 or 2050? Dubai Police always surprise us with the latest police technology to protect us and keep our lives safe, simple, and easy.
Oh my God. We're here just to keep your life safe.
Maybe it's an animatronic though.
Wow.
Like nobody says that fucking the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese dolls are fucking killer robots.
They got rid of them.
Oh, they did they?
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese no longer has those. It was scaring kids.
Of course it was. Well, fucking giant ass rat scares me too, you fucking bastard.
Yeah, they dude, right before COVID, the one here in Atlanta changed over and got rid of their whole stage, and they converted it. And dude, honestly, the new Chuck E. Cheese's look really good. They did a good job on
You want to go to Chuck E. Cheese together, Landon?
Well, I actually went last year for my daughter's birthday. She wanted to go. And one of the cool things that they have there is on Saturdays, you can do like your own little private birthday party. So what we did is we rented out the entire Chuck E. Cheese to ourselves. I think it was like 3 or 4 hours, 100% by ourselves. Nobody else could come in the building. It was the coolest freaking experience ever. And they had unlimited games they could play without, it was all included in the package. Let me tell you. Everybody that came to that party had a blast, bro. So I'm not bashing Chuck E. Cheese, but that was fun. She talks about it still to this day. I think we're gonna go again this year if we're allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I should get into Anunnaki, huh?
That robot, dude. That is nuts.
That is weird. I think it's an animatronic.
I mean, but dude, think of the future. That's where we're going, man.
I know. Everyone wants. I don't know, man. I feel like everyone wants to believe that.
You see the McDonald's thing, man? They're making robots cook food and shit. I think that's genius, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. Elon Musk said that they're going to put chips in our brains and we're all going to be able to talk telepathically. Do we realize that we can't agree on like people injecting fucking vaccines into each other? How are we going to agree on, yeah, we're all going to put this chip in our mind? That's not happening. People aren't going to agree to it. All right. It's not going to happen. Everyone needs to fucking slow their roll. All right. That's conspiracy, fucking science fiction, William Shatner bullshit, and I will not have it. But on to more science fiction, William Shatner bullshit. Anunnaki. The one subject I said I will never talk about.
Do I need to call Eddie? I can put Eddie on the show. We can have him explain it.
If you can get him on, sure. We'll talk about
let me send him a text. And
if you can get him on, we'll talk about it. I can't imagine.
Is he? I mean, are y'all going to get in a heated debate right now?
We might.
Anunnaki.
Yeah.
I love voice to text for things that I cannot spell. I'm a terrible at spelling.
Here's the thing. Eddie's the Anunnaki guy. Eddie's the one who knows.
You never answered my question. Did you actually watch their trailer that they had?
Yes.
You can't tell me that you wouldn't watch that as a movie. That was great, dude.
I've watched all the trailers. I've read the script.
Okay, I haven't read the script.
This is what I can tell you. I personally, not my thing. I'm not a science fiction fan. I appreciate what he's doing. I appreciate what he's doing. I don't like science fiction. I don't like that's a part of the thing of me being such a serious history fan, that like science fiction to me is fake bullshit that someone thought up. Simple as that.
It's oh my God.
I'll even take it a step further and say I don't understand the entertainment value behind it.
Dude, what they're doing is a movie, man, and it's just somebody's theory that we have We have Jerry in the chat saying Sumerian bullshit, so he's on your side with this one. Look, I'm not saying that any of that is legit by any means.
No, it's fucking retarded.
But
listen, if Eddie gets on the show, and I'm sorry, Landon, because I'm railroading over this. I swear to fuck, this show, you better open up the next 5 hours of your day, because let me tell you, I am going for fucking throats. There is no fucking way I'm going to let some I don't give a fuck who it is. I was going to say some asshole, but he's not just some asshole. He's Eddie. I am not going to let anybody tell me that this is accurate because some guy read a language that is a dead language off of a slab they supposedly found in the desert. Landon, let's take another dead language. Let's take the Atlantean language. We're in Atlantis. We go to the bottom of the ocean. We find a slab. One asshole, the same asshole, ironically enough, who finds the slab just so happens to also be the only person that can decipher the code of language.
Are we talking about Anunnaki, or are we talking about Joseph Smith in the Latter-day Saints? Because it sounds like the same thing.
Listen. That's the whole thing, is that this guy read an ancient text which he found on a slab in the desert around current day Mesopotamia, and
yeah, he's not answering me, so you can go ahead and explain this more if you want. You probably know more about the Anunnaki than I do, honestly, but I think it's a cool story. And dude, look, I can't believe you're against even wanting to watch the movie. Like, their trailer,
I don't like.
They filmed their trailer. I think they said like 19 hours is what it took, and it is phenomenal. It's great. I love it. I think it's great. I hope it sells.
Here's the thing. I don't deal in any way, shape, or form with any of that. Mm-hmm. I'll before I get in the Anunnaki, I'll explain really quickly that side of it. I only deal with the show. I have no bearing on investigations. I have no bearing on movies that they're making or plan on making.
Right.
That is not at all my bag. I take zero payment for anything that I do, and I told them if ever they make a deal where they can get paid, I don't want anything. I don't want to be on it, because that's not my success. That's not my thing.
Right.
Just so everyone understands. I think that Anunnaki, so I guess I should explain what Anunnaki is. Anunnaki is the theory that this ancient civilization came to Earth,
mm-hmm.
which, by the way, after the time period in which they hypothesized this Sumerian text was written, which is fucking stupid, this alien group, ancient alien group, came to Earth, taught us how to do things, taught us how to build, taught us how to do this, taught us how to do that. They came here because they needed gold, because their ships, something about radiation or something, their ships need gold so they don't become over radiated or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They left some of their enslaved people, known as like the Inky Hinkies or some shit, the Inkies, whatever the fuck. They left some of their slaved race here and gave us one rule. They said the humans cannot fuck, not humans, the early human cannot fuck the Inky Hinky. And of course, the second the Anunnaki left, we're going at it like bunny rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, these people believe that the Anunnaki came back several hundreds of thousands of years later, realized we had all fucked. They had then killed off the world with a flood, which I don't understand how they manipulated the water into the desert, but whatever, their story, I'll go along with it. And then they, in a petri dish, created what we are today using early man's DNA and the Anunnaki superior DNA. And the idea of it is that the only reason that we're at all intelligent is because we have Anunnaki DNA in us. And basically the Anunnaki is what the Bible's based on. They brought the floods, they brought the plagues, they did this, they did that, and the Anunnaki are God. That's the idea and my most basic understanding of it.
Right. I think it's fascinating. The entire
Man, I'll
thing.
punch you in the fucking face. You see how fucking angry I am just by the way I'm talking.
I'm trying to egg you on a little bit.
I never thought. You're just like fucking every other show. I never thought in a
Don't you
million
dare
years-
say that about me.
I hope you caught it.
Motherfucker.
I hope you caught it, you little fuck. You both bald-headed fucks.
Hey, I was watching a thing earlier today about the pyramids in Egypt, and there's this guy out there now.
Say some stupid shit, Landon. Say some stupid shit.
There's this guy out there now who his theory with how, because there's, you know, all these different theories about how they were built and whatnot. This guy's theory is that the pyramids were built from the inside out. And I've never heard that before. And he's like, I don't know, he's like some master architect or something, and that's what his whole theory is around, is building it from the inside out. It was crazy to hear about. I wonder if you
Can
heard
I ask
that
you
before.
a question though?
Yeah.
That's the only way it makes sense to build it.
Well,
I've been saying this for so long. People are fucking stupid.
it's the only way.
way that it makes sense to build it.
Well,
The
first off,
only
let me
way.
just say I won't know how to build a damn pyramid to begin with, but yeah, I don't know, dude. I really don't know.
You mean to tell me if I gave you a bunch of bricks, cement, you could not build me a pyramid?
I mean, I could build something that resembles the shape of a pyramid, but I probably couldn't build something that has such intricate, like, hallways and like rooms and things. I mean, I couldn't do it, but
Okay,
especially
I understand that.
especially with the tools available at the time and whatnot.
Well, that's the thing.
He
We
also
don't-
says it's not built by slaves; it was built
Yeah.
by people that, you know, worshipped whoever or whatnot. back
Here's
in
the
time.
thing. Here,
It was an honor to build the pyramids. is
I
his
believe that
theory.
historically he is accurate. Yes, I'm sure that slaves helped though. I don't know 100. I would assume that slaves helped, especially considering the Egyptians of the time loved the idea of slavery. I think that the pyramids had to have been built inside out. It's the only way it makes sense. Because here's the thing. Once you get to a certain point, okay, once you get to a certain point on the inside, okay, you just start building on top.
Mhm.
Once you have a roof over you and it connects, you just start stacking. It's the only way that makes sense. The problem is people say, well, the aliens, that fucking Christ. There are people that believe that because a hieroglyphic, once again, that we can't decipher in 2020 resembles a helicopter, that the fucking Apaches from World War II flew to Egypt, and what'd they do? What'd they do? What did the World War II fighter pilot do to help the Egyptians? What resources? No, that's a serious question. Okay, let's say hypothetically, sure, these people are right. An Apache helicopter flew back into the past, went through a portal, bam, same portal that Bigfoot travels through apparently. What did they have that would have helped the Egyptians? Hey, I think you need to move that rock a little bit to the left. Oh, yeah, perfect. The fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard about the Apache helicopters, but, you know, those drawings or whatever maybe just represent something that they...
That
I don't
we
know.
don't understand.
Yeah, that we don't
or
understand.
Spaceman. Well, it's plain as day. There's a man in a spacesuit on this hieroglyph. Not plain as day to me. I wasn't alive in fucking...
I'm curious, do you know the... Are you familiar with the Bob Lazar story?
I will punch you in the fucking face, Landon. Landon, why did you go here?
Well, I don't want to...
Did you do this on purpose?
No. I'm just curious if you... what your thoughts are on the element 115 that he said existed before we really found out that it existed and they admitted that it exists. How do you explain that one?
Here's the thing.
Do you think that he was actually there or not?
Here's the thing with Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar is obviously an intelligent man. Having said that, there is no record of Bob Lazar, like, being in any of these places. Now, there are people that say, well, the United States government, they hid all the record to make him look like a lunatic.
It'd be easy to do.
They killed people. That was what the government's done for they've killed people. Why wouldn't you just kill the guy?
Because they're saying they didn't kill him because he came out and he was so open about it that kind of put a prevention of them killing him. Because if they killed him, then people would know, oh, well, this is legit.
Do you think they killed Kennedy?
Do I think that the government killed Kennedy?
Yes.
Probably.
After all of the shit that he said about the CIA, how isn't it obvious that the government killed Kennedy? Why are we scratching our heads here and saying, oh, well, was it a lone gunman? Was Lyndon B. Johnson involved? Was a guy from Georgia named Joseph Miltier the orchestrator of the assassination? Why do we still, knowing what we know now in 2020, seeing what's been declassified, the information, the Warren Commission, why do we still scratch our head and say, oh, it couldn't have been the government, I think it was this guy? Now, what's the difference between John F. Kennedy and Bob Lazar? Bob Lazar is a fucking nobody.
He's a nobody, but he only had that one story. Like, the president could be killed for a various numbers of reasons, so they could blame it on many different things. Bob Lazar specifically went through one tunnel, one rabbit hole. This was his thing. So, like, if they kill him, that kind of, like, validates, that could add some validity to his
Make
specific
it look like
story.
an accident.
Yeah, but that's...
You make it look like a lone gunman.
That's what he said that they were going to do. It's like
Did
well, I don't think that they've tried to
there
kill
you
him.
Go.
I know they've ransacked his house and whatnot. I know that he says that he has that element 115. He has a partial amount of it.
Let's talk about Snowden. Let's talk about Edward Snowden. What is Edward Snowden classified as?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not that familiar with Edward Snowden. I mean,
Snowden's
I know who he is, but that's about it.
Edward Snowden's a whistleblower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's being
protected
killed him
right
now. He's being protected right now out of this country because they tried to kill him.
Did they try to kill him?
Yes. As a matter of fact, he has to be pardoned by the United States government, and Donald Trump says he considers it. He's considering pardoning Edward Snowden. Listen.
He also says aliens aren't real, too.
Yeah, well, listen. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is the end-all, be-all of information, but I'm telling you what's happening. I'm telling you that if this guy had information that they didn't want him to have, he would be killed, and what he supposedly has would vanish. You know the guy who had the first ever recording camera, like could record film? He mysteriously died. The body's never been found, and neither was his camera.
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't remember the guy's name. I remember he got on a train. He was going to like a convention. I want to say he was from like the UK or something. He was going to like a convention to sell his idea. It was a camera that could film motion pictures long before cameras and videos were invented, like created. Never came off the train. Nobody ever found the.
Well, that's kind of like the. They say that a dude created an engine that runs off water, and that he was killed as well.
Well, hemp guy too. There was the one that ran off hemp. I don't think the guy was killed, but I know that his plans were mysteriously destroyed. Because the first ever vehicles were supposed to run off of hemp.
Right.
Before the idea of gasoline, they were supposed to run off of hemp. I don't know if the guy was killed. I don't believe he was, but I know that the prototypes were burnt down and the guy didn't have funding to make more. But yeah, see, that's the thing. And I'm not trying to be an asshole by saying, oh, well, Bob Lazar is a fucking lunatic. But what I'm saying is it's
what's his motivation then? Like, why? What's the motivation at it? He hasn't gained any monetary value. If anything, he's just getting berated and attacked. And there are certain things that he said that have came out to be true.
That's a different question, because now I agree with you. Now I won't answer like a smartass. I'll give you the answer, because I think Bob Lazar knows something. I don't think he can tell us what he actually does know. He just wants us to dig deep on it, and he's hoping the right person digs deep enough.
So like
I
it's
think
a
Bob
treasure
Lazar
hunt
knows-
type thing.
What?
So it's kind of like a treasure hunt or like a something like that, like more of a cipher that you have to decode it better.
I think Bob Lazar is the patsy.
The patsy, what's that mean? Sorry, I'm stupid.
So when a patsy is somebody who takes blame for something. So for example, the
scapegoat.
Yes, when President Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald, supposedly. Lee Harvey Oswald, in questioning, all he said was, "I'm just a patsy." You're going to realize.
Did he? Okay.
Yes, those were his last. Yes, Lee Harvey Oswald, the lone gunman, said, "I am just a patsy."
I think 100% he was not the only shooter.
We'll get into that someday.
Yeah.
We'll get into that someday.
Yeah, we'll do a whole show around that. Because
like
I want to
do
learn more.
another-
Honestly, I have not looked that deep.
I'll send
into
you the
it, but
slideshow.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it, dude. We
we'll do
need
a
to
show
plan
on it,
some of these specific topics. And like I said, I'd like to have people on that, have studied this type of stuff for forever, and we can kind of discuss that or whatnot. So that would be cool, dude.
Here's what Bob
And it seems
Lazar
like
has-
people are interested in it. I mean, we're getting comments and calls.
Good.
So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, are we getting calls? Do I need to?
no, we don't have a call right now, but we
okay.
just had one.
Yeah. Bob Lazar, what he gains from all this is if somebody does break open that doorway, Bob Lazar is forever going to be the guy who opened up the crawl space.
So for him, it's just a legacy thing then.
For him, it's a legacy thing. I think he knows something. I think he wants. I think he's given us enough that he knows he won't get killed. If he is as smart as he says, if he does have all of the information that he claims he has only given us enough that he knows nothing's going to happen to him. He wants someone else to go and do the research and figure it out. And he knows that those doors are open. He knows there's a way for people to get this information.
It's interesting, dude. I don't know. I mean, there's so many of these things like I can't prove it either way. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things. In fact, I love listening and hearing these different
Can I
theories
ask you a
and
question
stuff.
though?
Sure.
Can I ask you a real quick question? So, as you know, I did a political show there for a little while, and it was said at one point that I can't hang because I'm 20 years old. You think I did a pretty good job there, Landon?
Well, I think that's kind of like belittling somebody just because of their age. I mean, there's kids there. I watched the other day on YouTube some like 9-year-old kid who was coding these robots and things, and I'm like, that kid's already smarter than me. I don't understand this whole like age discrimination thing with a lot of stuff. Like, I almost dated this one chick one time, right?
Boy.
Here we go.
Oh, every good story starts, I almost dated this chick one time.
Well, I was talking to this chick one time. I mean, this was a long time ago. And I was like, not a long time ago, but I was like, I think like 7 years older than her or something. And it was a whole ordeal that, nope, that's the breaking point. I can't date somebody that much older than me. Like, what is the thing with age? Like, as long as you're an adult, and I don't get.
I was really worried there.
Okay, no, I want to make that clear. No, not that type of thing. Not that type of thing.
This was like consenting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Just check.
Yeah, this person was 20. Okay, what's the like? I don't get that. I don't. And then you what you were just discussing, like you can't have an opinion on any of these matters because you're young.
Yeah.
Even though you may have spent every conscious moment of your reality studying a specific subject.
Here's the other thing too, is like in my 20 years of life, shit's happened to me that has not happened in other people's 80 years of life.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Of course.
How many people have been around for a pandemic of this size? Last 100 years? Oh, you weren't, because Spanish flu was fucking 1912.
But you're 20, so you can't have an opinion.
But I'm 20, I can't have an opinion. Oh, I had a fucking portable charger explode in my fucking hands. Yeah, in 1950, portable chargers were exploding all over the place. You remember 1950, we had fucking phones. Portable chargers were just exploding, right? You know, that's the shit because I agree with you. It's like I actually do my due diligence. I do the research. I try to educate myself on what's happening. But oh, you're only 20 years old. You can't hang with me because I have this life experience and I know so much more. Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck how much life experience you have. If you don't do the research, you're just talking out of turn. All right, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's stupid, dude.
And Landon, you've watched the program in which I'm talking about. You've seen it on air. This shit fucking happens.
Yeah, it happens, especially from the viewers on that.
Yeah,
you know, your viewers on that show always say that, and it makes no sense to me.
And that's why, like, I stepped down from that particular show, even though I have issues with the paranormal show too. Truth of the matter is, I love so many members of the audience over there. I mean, I adore so many members of the audience. Even there are a lot of people who hate me over there because I'm young. But like, that's the thing is, like, first off, I'm doing an entertainment show. And here, Landon, do you want me to really open up Pandora's box?
Go for it. Dude, right. I literally don't work until tomorrow at 7:00 at night, and I need to stay up late, so go for it.
Landon, remember when we did a 6-hour show together? Remember we did 6 hours? Remember? Yeah. It was pretty recently.
Yeah.
There was I think it was being called a live investigation.
Joke.
It was a live. I was live. I don't know what we were investigating.
Nothing.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you said it.
It was a fucking joke.
But I get comments blaming me. So when it's a good show, it's and I'm gonna, Eddie, you know I love you, and you know I would talk about this on air. Yeah, well, even then though, I would talk about this on the show, which, by the way, it might happen.
You know, when you come back, you've got
I'm gonna
like you have to address like specifically at least one person.
Everybody is aware.
It's coming. I cannot wait.
I told Rick, we're running long. That means take 30 minutes for me. I get comments when it's a bad show. Oh, it's Dillan's fault. But when it's a good show, oh, Eddie, you're the greatest. Well, hey, Dillan, we need to see Eddie more during this live investigation because quite literally there was a dick conversation in the comments. Do you remember that, Landon? You were there when they were talking about how good looking Eddie is.
Oh yeah. You he was a sexy dude.
Fucking goddamn! You would think that you bitches would be better looking.
Before you comment,
they really lay it on thick. Let me tell you, they're really shooting shots, man. Here's the thing: there is one woman in particular. Boy, I can't wait.
I know. I'm so excited about it. That's my favorite part of you coming back.
Are you gonna watch?
Well, I may be on the show. We'll see how it goes.
That's true. You might be on the show. Oh my god, dude, that would be fucking great. What's funny is it's difficult because none of your audience know what the fuck I'm talking about.
But if they want entertainment Saturday night, 9:00, check out Paranormal Analytical. There you go.
Yes, Paranormal Analytical. Thank you. There is a lady on the show. Well, not on the show. There's a lady who thinks she's more important to the show than she is, who just has to shit all over anyone who isn't 6'2", bald, and have a big Hulk Hogan looking mustache. Anybody else knows nothing. Even though, by the way, this is the same lady, Landon, that said, "Hey, I don't know, do ghosts live in ghost boxes?" This lady.
I remember this.
This lady asks, "Do ghosts live in ghost boxes?" Landon, I have a question for you. How entry level is a ghost box? That's like the second thing you learn about.
Yeah, well, you know, if you were to go back probably like 3 years ago, it was a higher level. Like this was something that, you know, not just really anybody can get. Now it's $50 and you can have it at your house, depending on how low level.
Every paranormal show talks about them. The ones on TV are showing them constantly. So that leads me to believe that you are watching our show simply to Google over a man who you will never obtain, you Australian cunt. Oh boy, canceled. Sorry, I mean, sir. Oh boy, damn. Here's the thing. Oh boy, just wait until Saturday. Oh boy, you want to hear a fucking promo, Landon? How many people we got watching us right now?
I don't know. The counter's all jacked up, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You guys will never see me in more fucking you. If you hate me, watch me on my show Saturday. I will have you in fucking stitches. Let me tell you something. You people didn't send me a promo, so I'm gonna go do my fucking own. All right. And Landon, you better have your finger on that record button, buddy. You better
I'm gonna
have
screen record the whole show
because we need to fucking bring it over to this show. I just want my fucking 30-minute rant to just go. I want us to just play it, and you're gonna do commentary over it on our next show.
I'm almost like more interested in not being on the show just so I can be in the comments.
Now you have to be on the show. You have to. It's a necessity because I want to hear your laugh.
Okay.
Because that's gonna fuel me to keep going.
You know she's not watching. She's not gonna be there to see it.
No, she'll come in at the beginning and she'll say, "Do you want to know how good I am?" She'll throw her 2 cents in.
Oh yeah.
She'll come in at the very beginning and she'll say, "Well, I certainly won't be watching today's show. Good night, everyone." And that's when I'll say, "Yo, everybody, we got a minute. Hey, you fucking Australian dude, you tranny-looking motherfucker, you drug-ridden cock of a human being. What do you know? By all means, come on the show and tell me what do you know?"
I've stooped myself this low.
What?
We're this low now.
What do you know? Listen, Landon. Listen, let me tell you something. It's fucking going. We're going. It's gonna go.
Okay, save it for then. I want it to be real then.
Listen,
Look, we've been going 2.5 hours. Let's wrap this thing up.
Let's wrap it up.
And yeah, Saturday we're gonna do it. Let's wrap this up. I do want to mention. Go ahead. If you got something else there, go for it. Because otherwise, I'm wrapping it up.
I just wanted to say that, believe it or not, everybody, I'm not normally this big of an asshole, but this lady has been a thorn in my dick
for a long time.
3 fucking years.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of you realize that, like, there are certain people who know nothing, who think that they get a say just because they want to suck some guy's dick. Fuck you. Go ahead, Lynn.
Oh, all right, guys. Look, we're done. Thanks for listening. I don't know what happened here, but somehow we managed to pull 2.5 hours out of our ass. So I am going to be getting on to Fiverr tonight, and if you guys want to too, use the link above. I'm gonna get us some promos. Honestly, I wanted to open up the lines and hopefully, you know what? Here we go. Let's do this. I want some viewer interaction here. I want to get some real professional, like intros and things done, but I want them to be absolutely hilarious. So if you have an idea for that, I want you to text the number on the screen, 706-237-8230. Tell us your ideas of what you want, and I'm going to get some funny stuff done on Fiverr. We have a little bit of a credit we can use there for signing up for getting sponsored from them. So use the link above if you do it on your own. Also, check out the link for Webull up there. Dylan, thank you, my friend. We're going to have to do this again really, really soon. Probably this weekend-ish. I'm off all weekend, bro. So, whatever. Maybe we can do a pre-paranormal analytical
I'll do it. Yeah, man.
Show.
I'll do it.
Maybe we can do like an afternoon type show.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can get Rick on for part of it.
Dude, that would be cool. We've talked about having Rick on this show.
Yeah, which is why I think it'd be cool.
Yeah,
and I mean, if we're already going along, I can talk to him and see if he'd be interested in doubling up.
Right. Let's do that. That's perfect. That's a good idea. Anything else, Dylan?
Like I said, if anyone was offended by the cunt word, sorry. Everyone, I hope you have a great day. And hey, call in with some shit for next week.
Call in. Remember, this line's open all week.
Mr. Kessler,
yes.
Horse penis implant. Let me tell you something.
Horse penis. We're going to be calling Bob Kessler live, hopefully next show. So make sure you tune in there. Remember, this line is open all week long. I will not answer it during the week because I want you to leave a message. Call us. You got topics you want us to talk about. You got a comment, concern. You want to cuss us out. Whatever.
You hate me.
Yeah. And if you want to come on screen with us too, shoot me a private message on Facebook. I can send you a link and we'll throw you on camera. I mean, whatever. I'm down. That all, Dylan? Is that all you got?
Good night, everybody.
All right, brother. Have a good night. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you guys next time on this terrible show. That's it.